In this video we want to talk about product strategy. The following could be considered when launching a product into the market for the first time. What is the target group we are aiming at? Who is the product targeting? What benefits will the product bring to that group? What needs are being addressed? What needs do the group have that are currently not being satisfied in the market? So this product will benefit the group in what way? How is the product going to be positioned in the market? Is it going to be positioned at the lower end, cheap price, low quality, high price, high quality? Or whereabouts in the spectrum is it going to be placed? What's its position in the market? And what are its competitors also within the market? So how does the product become differentiated from the competitors? What's different about the product compared to the competitors? Now, to analyze a lot of this, strategists have come up with different techniques. One of the more famous ones is Ansoff's Matrix. Now, this is developed by Igor Ansoff, and the aim of Ansoff's Matrix is to help businesses develop their products and consider potential growth strategies. So, for example, such as existing products, new products in existing markets or in new markets. So, what way to move? To stay with the existing product, develop a new product, stay in existing markets, or try to get into new markets. So there are different strategies that can be looked at. And Ansoff's Matrix really consists of 4 combinations. And the 4 combinations we've already suggested here by looking at existing products, new products, existing markets and new markets. So we have got a sort of a 4-fold division there. So let's look at the matrix itself. First of all, we've got existing products. We talk about what the company makes right now and where is it being sold right now, the existing market. So that's one quadrant of this matrix. That's known as market penetration. That's they have penetrated a particular market, the existing market, with the existing product. You could bring new products into the existing markets. So a new product in the existing market is product development. It's also possible to, with existing products, take the existing products to a new market. That's known as market development. And finally, it's possible to bring new products to new markets. And that's known as diversification. So the matrix relates to existing products and new products, existing markets and new markets. And depending where the product is placed, or what product's been placed, will determine which part of that matrix the company is sitting in. Now, each one of these needs discussion, really. Market penetration, product development, diversification, market development. Each one needs to be discussed. So we'll start by looking at market penetration. So, market presentation, it's another name for a growth strategy. It's trying to grow the market in the existing market. It's the existing market with the existing product. So it's growing it in there. The focus is on selling existing products in existing markets. There are four main elements associated with this growth strategy which organisations should take into account. That is to maintain or increase market share of existing products. Well, if it's going to be a growth strategy, it should really be trying to increase market share. It should try to dominate the market. It should try to become the dominant force in the market. Become the biggest player. That should be the objective. It should really aim for markets where there are high entry barriers. A barrier to entry are blockages to new companies coming into markets to set up and produce products in competition. So if you can block companies from coming in, if you can stop the companies coming in, it's said you've got barriers to entry. And high entry barriers could be the cost of the capital required to set up, or the research and development necessary to develop a product, or getting skilled labour, sufficient skilled labour to produce the product. All of these constitutes barriers to entry. It's a whole list of these, but they are considered in a separate video. If there are high entry barriers, then entry into the market becomes unattractive, which means market share for the company we're considering could increase. To get a good growth strategy, there must be consumer satisfaction. Consumers must be happy with the product. So there are four main elements, as I said, associated with the growth strategy. Increase the market share of the existing products, try to become a dominant player in the market, and block entry. Block competitors coming in because they will simply eat into your profits. They'll take market share. So block them by having legal patents or patents on the product, by having by controlling, for example, the raw materials, if that's possible, so they can't set up against you. So those could be the growth strategies for market penetration. Back to the Ansoff Matrix. We've looked at the first one, existing products, existing markets. Now let's move to existing products and new markets. And this is known as market development. So let's have a few words about market development. This type of growth strategy aims to sell existing products in new markets. However, the business needs to consider a few points here. First of all, geographical markets. It may be that it may be difficult to open in other markets. There might be legal restrictions or restrictions on trade, or there may not be the skilled labour in other areas to deal with the product. There may be cultural issues. There are lots of issues associated with trying to get into a new market. And what about the packaging and the product itself? In a new market, there's a need for customizing the product to suit the commercial culture of that area. So the packaging and the dimensions, the design, the overall ethos of the product must marry up with what is expected in that particular geographical area. And what distribution channels will be used? Will it go to retailers? Will it go to wholesalers? Will it go directly to the public? What are the distribution channels? So again, issues to be considered. And also pricing policies. It may be an opportunity to charge different prices in different markets. But there are issues there because perhaps the currencies in the different markets are different, and there is a risk that the exchange rate will move to make this non-viable. So simply having different geographical markets may not solve this particular problem. Back to the matrix. We've looked at existing products now. Now let's look at new products. And let's look at new products in existing markets, which is called market development. New products, existing markets. So it's a new product into an existing market. This requires development of new competencies. So new skills, new products need to be developed for the existing market. Excuse me. Now, the seller may have an expertise in the market. The seller knows the market, the producer knows the market, but developing a whole new product, that is difficult. That requires research and development and a technical expertise and perhaps a new set of competencies within the company itself. And the new products must be appealing to the market. There must be an element of entrepreneurism here. The entrepreneur must look at the customer needs and design a product to meet the need. But the needs must be identified first. And it's a talent to spot needs, particularly if people are not shouting for the product. It's seeing if a product will fit that market. So new product development, big problem. That's our matrix. And the last one we need to deal with is diversification. This is when we have a new product in a new market. This is the most radical, I suppose. So introducing a new product in a new market. It's very risky because there are two unknowns here. The new market is the unknown and the new product is the unknown. A business must be precise about what it wants to achieve in this strategy and a clear assessment of the associated risks involved. It's not just a question of thinking it's a good idea, but there are double risks here. It's knowing the new market and developing a new product. So careful consideration to the ups and the downsides associated with this would be necessary. So that's the Ansoff Matrix, and that's our consideration of that. That comes under the heading of product strategy, and this is a way of looking at the product strategy to use an existing product in an existing market or a new product in a new market or whatever combination. We have 4 choices. And that concludes this video. So thank you for watching.